Okay, let's start today's stream. Plan to continue and I think finish yesterday's stream. So yeah, let's start with it. So what I have done previous days, or yesterday actually, I have enumerated my Elixir milestones, at least all things that I remember that I think like they're interesting or worth mentioning. So yeah, plan to finish this list today. Okay, possibly there are much more things to enumerate, but those things are just one of the most important for me. Okay, let's see the next library we'll discuss is Phoenix Live Dashboard. So yeah, what is it? It's the dashboard for every Elixir application. For example, I can just start my PHX server and possibly we'll see the PHX routes, the routes for each service, and I have a dashboard, I think. Localhost 4000 Smart. Okay, so yeah, you can see this feature and it's very useful because it resembles the how is it called, observer start. Okay, it resembles the observer a little bit, and by the means of our trace overviews, no trace but ports lists. Let's see, we have ports here too. Okay, and I think we have more ports here than inside the dashboard. I think it's for some purpose. Okay, what is missing? Okay, this is present. Okay, this is present too. 05, 07, 09 is not present. Okay, it's TCP net. I'm not sure which port takes it. Okay, so yeah, we have ports, we have processes. What is the number? Okay, it's 345 processes, and I'm not sure how much processes do we have inside the observer. Okay, we have some applications. Okay, we have more verbose thing with all those supervision trees. We have smaller list of applications, but nevertheless it's very nice to have. Okay, so it's a remote thing, so it can be accessed in development or in production or in every other environment. It's configured now to work only in development mode. So yeah, we have request logger, so it's just the same thing as we see here. So we can just see every request that comes from this browser when we enable the cookie. It's nice for debugging. So yeah, it also works on a single host, on a single node, or can be just distributed between nodes. So yeah, I think it's very useful. We can also use some metrics for Phoenix itself or for the virtual machine. Okay, we have more complicated things. Okay, we can have a lot of charts, but these metrics are from telemetry. Okay, and we have some home data. Okay, so I am very glad that this is introduced. Okay, let's just resize it a little bit. And let's see when was the initial commit for this nice addition to Phoenix application, Phoenix framework. Okay, let's see the blame, and okay. So I think it will be closer to initial release. 2 years ago, release. Okay, let's. Okay. Okay, let's move a little bit. Interesting. So possibly it was another application, and it was just imported from the other application, and it was, I think it became alive or released at this day. So yeah, initial release was on the November 27th, 2019. Sorry, that's the same thing. And the source is GitHub, and the link for the event. Okay, and there is an extra addition to it. This local F dashboard, or I do not remember how to call it. Live dashboard local. Okay. Okay. How is it correctly? Okay, it's standalone, not local, but standalone. And my dashboard standalone. Okay, so we can just use it as a standalone application, connect to some server, and see the information about it. Okay, so yeah, let's add it as a source. So it was on October 18th. October 18th of 2021. 2021 source is dashbit blog. Okay, did I copy it? Okay, so it's a very nice addition. I think it should work not only with Phoenix, not only with Elixir, possibly with Erlang too, but I'm not sure about this. So yeah, will not talk too much about it because I don't know about it. Okay, another very nice addition is Phoenix ES build. Okay. Let's see the README for it. Okay, where is our blame thing? Okay, it's initial commit. Initial commit. Okay, it was on the July 17th, 2021. Okay. So why this tool was introduced? To remove the dependency on Webpack and other Node.js frameworks. So it just allows you to just connect some static or front-end part without any extra tools, without node modules or something like that. So it just allows you to create a simpler application. I believe newer versions of Phoenix use this by default, but yeah, I'm not sure about this. Okay, so why this was done? Because sometimes JavaScript has some missing dependencies or problems with updates, and so yeah, it's just to remove the dependency of Phoenix, so instead of Node.js and packages and so on. It is built via Go, possibly. Yeah. Cape. Not sure about it. Okay, possibly with Go, and it's much faster than Webpacks and other builders. Okay, so it was introduced just to remove the dependency of Node.js, and I think it's a nice feature. If I have less dependencies, I think it means that I have less places that may break. Yeah, I think it's a nice thing. Another part is Phoenix Tailwind. It's another new addition by Chris McCord, if I'm not mistaken. Phoenix Tailwind. Okay. Okay, this one. And I'm using this thing together with Phoenix inside Elixir Home. Okay, so it just simplifies the installation of Tailwind, of configuration. It also supports some features, some default plugins. I've tried to add them, but turned them off because I did not need it, at least for now. Okay, let's see. When it was added. Okay, it's also a recent edition. Okay, it was December 20 of 2021. Commit. Initial commit on 2021. Okay, source GitHub and link is here. Okay. Okay. so it was just addition. Let's see, it's possibly inside the telemetry. So just let me check. So yeah, this library loves to dispatch some events between the application and collect the metrics. So we have seen it in our Phoenix Live dashboard. I do not collect too much events, but I could do this after all. So yeah, this application allows you to collect all relevant metrics about performance of your application, about the timings, or some other stuff what you want to collect, and just convert them to some useful format or use existing integrations and send them to some place or use them as you wish. So yeah, this just simplifies the collection process and other stuff very well. Okay, let's see. Where is our readme? Okay, maybe 3 years ago. Possibly it will be like this. Okay. Okay, it was July 12, 2018. Okay. I have also watched some presentation about the next library, and okay, so it's a pure Elixir socket server. So what does it mean? It means that after some time, or at least it's implemented in own library, so it can be used as a socket server or HTTP server. Possibly Phoenix or some other parts can be connected to it. Okay. So here we have some information about this one. So it's HTTP to implementation is already done, if I'm correct, and HTTP 1.1 or something like that is in progress. Okay, let's see okay, it seems like it is live. Yeah, I think it's very nice thing to have in future. Just want to highlight this library. Okay, let's see. When was the initial commit? Okay, 2 years ago. I think it's closer to initial commit. Doc updates. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I believe it is this one. So yeah, it is the first commit. Commit. It was on the November 2019. Okay. First GitHub. Okay. Yeah, other stuff, extra typing. Okay, so we have just closed this section about web development. So yeah, Elixir is very nice for web development. I like it very much. I draw some inspiration while implementing the features in other languages. So yeah, I like it. Okay, another stuff, let's continue to distributed computing. Okay, we can do some useful things with Elixir 2. Yes. Stage. Okay. So we can, or every person can build some pipelines. Okay, interesting thing. So didn't know about the flow. What is this? Okay. Okay, so we can just create some flows using this part, using this application. And also we have some Broadway and okay. So basically it's building blocks for larger applications. We can create some pipelines using these low-level blocks. So let's add a flow here too. Flow too. Okay, we'll add some spacing here. Okay. So we can create a pipelines. So yeah, each part of the pipeline, of a data processing pipeline, can be represented like some process or something like that, and it will be responsible for doing some part of work. Okay, so yeah, gen stage is just like a building block for other interesting stuff. Let's see. It's quite okay. It's quite took some time to. It's already mature, I believe. Haven't used it so much in production. Okay, but I like the idea. I have built some ETL pipelines, but in other languages, like in Python or similar stuff, mostly in Python. And I think Elixir version will be very useful too. Okay, commit was on the August 25, 6, 2015. Yeah. GitHub. Okay. Let's move to the flow thing. I'm not sure when it was introduced, possibly in 2017, and okay. So yeah, here we can see the different things between both libraries. So yeah, they both built on the gen stage. So yeah, if you need to do something with the data as a whole, I believe we can just have a file and we need to process it through a very large part of we can just break it into pieces and work on it. So yeah, I think Flow will be better for this solution. And Broadway, so Broadway is just like on events thing. I think it's more like a streaming solution. So basically Flow, we can take a file and create a pipeline for it. So let's see some examples here. So yeah, we have taken a file and create something float. So yeah, we can just split it by spacings, partition to some number of partitions, and do something with every partition. Basically, we can split to large part of things and create some request for each part. And after it, we collect them to a list. Okay, so we operate on the data as a whole in Flow, and then Gen stage is just like for batch processing or some streaming things. For example, we can get some events from some message bus, from some from some message queues like Amazon SQS or something like that, and collect those parts into batches and store them somewhere or ingest into other database. So yeah, I think it's very useful. So yeah, let's see. Going to the README. Okay, so initial commit was in 2017. I think it was just before I became interested in Elixir, so yeah, I didn't know about this library too much. I think it's very useful. January 18, 2017. There's GitHub. Okay. And Broadway is more recent addition to Elixir ecosystem comparing to Flow. Let's see when it was initialized. Date, initial version. Okay, it was added on November. Okay. Commit November 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2019. Okay. Yeah. You can see the timeline when they were added. Okay. That's my highlights in the distributed computing section. Let's move to other stuff. Okay, let's move to JSON. It's very nice library for JSON parsing. So if I remember correctly, it became more faster than previous analog Python, they share almost the same API, and it required some native integrations, but JSON is slightly bit faster, but yeah, implemented in pure Elixir, and it became faster after the Erlang version released. The version was 24. Okay, JSON, GitHub. Okay, let's move here. And oh, okay, it's not this. Okay, I believe this one is more closer. I think. Okay. We can see some benchmarks. Okay. So I'm not sure what this library is. Okay, so it's JSON if for the Erlang. So yeah, it's implemented in pure C, I believe. Let's see. Okay. Jiffy. Where is, okay, possibly this one is the new implementation, and Erlang part is this solution is a wrapper for Erlang. Okay, so yeah, as we can see, it's pretty fast. Okay, pure C code is slightly faster, but not so much. Okay, at least it's written in pure Elixir, and I like it very much. Generally, I use it in most projects where I need JSON features. Okay, let's see the initial commit. It was done 5 years ago. Okay, initial commit was done on June 4th of 2017. Okay. GitHub. Okay. Another stuff is Mint library. It's very simple solution written in Elixir. So it's HTTP client. And what is the difference? I believe it's low-level API. Okay, so it has no processes. It uses no process, so basically each operation is done from the same process. Okay, so most TCP or HTTP libraries have a pool of connections or something like that, and try to pick some connection from that pool, pick some worker or something like that, and process every part of message of HTTP request or TCP request through those pool. But Mint doesn't use it. Okay, so each process can have our own connection. So it's quite low-level API. and then it can be much faster in most cases. I think it's initial commit. Initial commit was on October 25th of 2017. Keep source. Okay. It's very nice project. Okay, some other clients use it, like Finch. Elixir. This one. Okay, so it's built on top of Mint, and another thing that another library that use it is it uses actually both of Finch, so it actually uses Mint underneath. Okay, so every library is very nice to have and to work with. And I believe we should add some extra things here. Is something like this. Nimble things. So we have some tools for working with CSV files, with options, with parsing some files. Actually, we can use something like this. Oh. Yeah, we can just use something like this to parse some files, to parse. I have used those things to parse the files, to create a grammar. I believe this too. So those tools we have two parts. One of these are okay. One of these is lexical analyzer and generator for some code, and another part is this one. So what is this? It's generator, and how. So this module helps to create and generate some grammar, parse it, and convert the grammar into the Erlang or Elixir code. Okay, actually, I believe Elixir uses this thing too. And somewhere here, Elixir, C, YRL. Okay, this is the only place where we have YRL file. So actually, it uses this tool to generate all Elixir things. So yeah, it's very it's heavy machinery if you need to work with some parsing things to create on grammars or something like that. So yeah, we have just everything that we have inside our grammar here, inside the Elixir grammar. Okay, I have used both LEX and YECC to parse some code for for mail processing rules. Okay, it was very nice to have. And if you need something simpler, it's better to use those things like Nimble Parsec or yeah, similar stuff. Okay, so we can validating and do something with options. Interesting. Interesting. And possibly I can use those things. I can use this thing in Smart Home. Let me take a note about it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's just a family of those libraries. So this one is to work with CSV, to parse the CSV. This one for validating options. Okay, this one to just parse something. Like we can say that we need to parse this string, and it should be a date time part. So yeah, we tell that it begins with integer and some other stuff. Okay, so yeah, and we create a parser for it. Name it datetime. Possibly it will be a name of the function. And okay, do something with it. So yeah, it generates, it parses our string and returns the data as we need. So it generates something like this. So yeah, so it should be very efficient. In more difficult cases, you can just use LEX or YECC Erlang libraries. They're quite easy to master. Yeah, no, they are quite easy to get started, but I think they will require some time to master. Okay, so we can see here a Nimble pool. It's a resource pool implementation. We can take some resource from a pool and return to it. Okay, this one is for so it's like Jamstack. So we can generate static sites with pure Elixir, with Markdown and other stuff. Yeah. So we can just create something like Jekyll or other static site generators with pure Elixir. And this one is to generate time-based one-time passwords. Okay, I remember Dashbit created some tool sometime, and the members of this team is more focused on the open source work, and Nimble time-based one-time passwords was just the part of those two. Okay, so it was open sourced after some time. Okay, so let's add this. Okay, so if you want, you can just look at other tools from this group inside the README file for it. Initial commit was when it was. Okay, it was 4 years ago, on the 1st of March 1st of 2019. Okay. GitHub. very interesting library is Ben. I believe this one. So it's a very interesting implementation of job processing tool. I have looked into the source code and was inspired to do something similar, to do something with it. So the general idea is to use Postgres as a storage for our jobs, and we can use just transactions or something like that, some interesting stuff that we have inside the Postgres to work with periodic tasks or some extra tasks. It resembles me salary in some kind. It resembles me like a salary tool for Python, but backed by PostgreSQL and with some extra features from Elixir side, like generic servers, some timeouts, and extra stuff. So yeah, I recommend it. It has also some very nice tools to work with. It has pro or community versions. I don't know how is it called. I have worked only with community version, but I like the documentation and how to create some plugins to it. Okay, let's move here and let's move to the blame. Okay, I believe. Okay, I believe this one is initial commit. Initial commit was on the January 13, 2019. GitHub source. Okay. Yeah, I needed to extend salary at some project with my coworkers, and it was an interesting thing. So I remember this experience. I think extending this tool is much easier. Yeah, I like it. Regarding the next section, I like the testing experience with Elixir. It's very nice, and I want to highlight the property-based testing. Okay. I like the idea about it, and I believe, yeah, we have this post. Yeah, article was on the October 31st, 2017. Okay, possibly it was a Halloween there. Okay. Okay. And it's from Elixir site. Elixir site. Okay. we'll move to initial commit for the stream data library a little bit later. So yeah, what is property-based testing? So we can create or generate some data and work with it. So actually we can generate some random data and run on, we can generate sets from random data and run our functions or our parts of code on each set that we have generated. It's very useful for some boundary cases. For example, I have built some solution, and so it was the place I have used this library. Okay, the question was to create to reorder list of items. Okay, actually there are a couple of ways to implement this thing. So for example, we have 3 tabs in our browser and we need to reorder them. And the simplest approach is just to add some extra field in the database, and if we need to move some tab to other place, we just need to update the number, the position for each tab. Okay, it's one approach. Another approach is to use something like integers for let's move back to a previous example. If we try to create if we go this approach, we can end up with some logs on the database or inconsistencies if we don't use some transactions. Okay, if we enforce the uniqueness, the unique values for each row inside the table, so order should be unique for given table, for example, then it will be difficult to do something with it properly. So yeah, so the way to improve the performance is to use to modify a single row each time, not many rows. So yeah, another approach just to create a linked list. So for example, this tab has a parent of this, and this tab has a parent of this. It's okay if we need to move to other place, for example this one. I need just to do something with 2 or 3 records, just to shift the parents of them, and that's okay. But if we need to sort about the order, we can use some recursive database calls, but it's not very nice to read and to construct in the code. Okay, another approach is to use some gaps between positions. For example, this has a position of 1, this the position of 10, this the position of 20, for example. If I need to move this one between those, I need to place it somewhere between 10 and 20, for example to 15. Okay, and yeah, the problem, for example, this one has a number of this has a position of 10 and this has a position of 11, and I need to place this one between them. So yeah, we can fix it with using floating point numbers. Okay, so until the precision of float is exhausted. Okay, Okay, so why do I tell about this? So the initial, so where I was using, I used this library to test my implementation. So what did I do? I just replaced the float thing with custom strings, basically like base 64 or something like that. So yeah. So the position was a very large number. It was a text field, indexed text field with some extra stuff, and I wanted to guarantee that it works correctly. So I have used property-based testing to generate different cases and check that if I move one tab between the other ones, I will get a correct result every time. Okay, stream data and property-based testing helped me a lot with this task. Yeah, I like it very much. So yeah, let's look at the README when this was created. First commit, it's very easy one. It was on the May 11th, 2017. Yep. Okay. I should. So actually, it was the first time for me when I. It was the first time for me. It was the first time for me when I worked with property-based testing. Okay, and after it I came to the library. Okay, let's move forward. Another thing is brain framework. I read something about it and actually tried to work with it a little bit. So not so much, but yeah. So it helps to work with some streaming tools, with media, with audio streams or video streams. Okay, there are a lot of libraries inside it. Let's see. I think it will be faster, closer to the initial commit. I have tried to work with some, how is it called? Web RTC support with for Elixir. Okay, with those interesting things. Fix repo. Okay. Years ago. Okay. So basically, something was before, even before this thing, before the README. Possibly git ignore will be. Okay, let's move to initial commit. So it's a huge framework of different integrations for different media streaming and processing tools. So yeah, I want just to highlight it because it's a huge part of work. Okay. initial commit. I believe this one is the initial part of the application. Okay. Just on the other code 2016. GitHub. Okay. It's very interesting media processing tool. Oh yeah, let's move forward. Another thing is NERSC framework. I have some experience using it, and possibly I have even okay. Okay, even I have some Raspberry Pi Zero okay, attached to my PC right now to look at Elixir circuits, some libraries to work with it, and plan to use nerves in Elixir Smart Home application too. So it's a great tool. Initial commit. Let's see. There's project. And when it was created. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that this one. Let's see when it was created. The first one in it 6 years ago. Okay. Possibly it was the initial commit for it, but I'm not sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Initial commit. Project. Okay. Initial commit was on the 24th, 2016. Okay. Okay. It's actually a large number of repos here. And I'm not sure which one was the first. But I believe somewhere near here. Okay. So let's move to other library. Okay. It's a graphical library. Okay, it's library. So yeah. Okay. So some interesting things. So basically it's a library that allows to draw some things on IoT devices or some other stuff like kiosks or Raspberry Pis or just native environments. Okay, it's for two-dimensional graphics. Let's see the initial commit. Okay, I think this one is initial commit. Initial commit was October 31st of 2017. Actually, possibly it was Halloween too. Okay, I have so I did read a post at Elixir forum about this with this framework. So it was the first place where I met it. Okay, and let's move to extra things. So another section is data science. Oh yeah. Elixir has some things to work with data science, and I believe this one was one of the it was one of the most so it was the first thing related to data science in Elixir. Okay, let's move to readme. Okay, readme. Okay, first commit. So it's quite recent addition to Elixir ecosystem. I have done something similar with I have some experience with numerical libraries like NumPy in Python, but have not tried numerical Elixir yet. So yeah, just want to highlight it because I believe it's very nice addition to Elixir ecosystem. Okay, initial commit. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, initial commit was on the October 29, 2020. Oh yeah. Another stuff that appeared after NX is Livebook. Elixir Livebook. Okay, it was an announcement thing. Okay. And I remember that it was very nice to read about this, to see what to see the features of it. So it's like a Jupyter notebook for Python, but more collaborative Jupyter notebook written in Elixir. It's very interesting thing. April 13, 2021. 2021. And it's dashbit blog. Actually, this thing can run on a desktop, on the... interesting. X weeks and so why I just stopped about it. So actually it can run on embedded systems, on desktop and other stuff flawlessly. Okay, and just stopped that because I believe in Erlang the version 24th has added the support for how do we call it, Erlang WX. Let's just move to it, and WX HTML so yeah, web view possibly. Okay, it was the addition from Erlang. Hey. Web view. It's a pity. It was released in okay. So I believe it was added in Erlang, this version. So this thing allows to work on the desktop with Elixir, and it's one of the most essential parts for Elixir desktop. So I want to highlight it. View. Okay, just want to highlight it too. Okay, let's move to an initial commit of Elixir live book. It's okay. It's here, and let's look when it was added. Initial commit. Okay. 7th and 20 and book hub. Okay. It's interesting thing to have. Another part is JavaScript integration. It's quite recent one. Here, live book, JS, where so yeah, basically, possibly it's here. Okay. Okay, it's from the Kino, not the live book. Okay. So one of the most recent additions is okay. So it can just use some JS things and work with. So person can create some collaborative and some input things like buttons and other stuff right on the front-end side. Okay. And I think it's very nice thing. This one was before Explorer, I believe. Okay, but I'm not sure about this. Let's look about it. Okay. Initial commit was 9 months ago. May 28th. May 28th, 21. I believe it was announced a little bit later, but okay. It's initial commit. Okay, let's move to Explorer thing. And I think it's here. It was moved a little bit to another package. So what is this? It's an analog like data frames or pandas in Python. Have not worked with it too much. Yeah, I have some experience with pandas, even have some stars about or upvotes about the pandas usage on Stack Overflow, but yeah, I have not used the Explorer in Elixir yet. So I believe it's very useful. It is very useful thing. July 23rd of 2021. Okay. I believe that's right. Okay. So the timing was right. And let's move to the last section. This is very interesting library. So it allows you to run Elixir applications where VX widgets, WebView that I have mentioned today. Let's try it on the desktop. Elixir desktop. Okay. I have made it first at Elixir forum. But here. So actually, this application allows you to run some applications at desktop or possibly mobile phones too. So we have Android example up. I tried to run it on the emulator, but it didn't work at the time when I tried, possibly 3 or 5 months ago. Okay. I think it's very useful. I have not tried to run iOS example, but yeah, I think it's very nice feature, and I think it can be useful for some applications to run, for example, Live View as a desktop application. So it's nice thing. Okay, let's look when it was created. Initial commit. Okay, on the 1st of March. March 21st, 2021. Or 20, March 1st. Okay, and GitHub. Okay. I believe that's all. I think I can remember even more libraries that can be used in Elixir, but I think that will be enough for today and possibly for those tweet. So yeah, let's save it again, and we'll mark it as done and plan to return to Smart Home programming from tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening or day, or what do you have? Bye.